Namaste, guys. ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Thursday evening. It's about, I have glasses on. It's about 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time here in Denver, Colorado. I'm jumping on real quick to give you guys a live stream, share the love, talk about energy healing, meditation, practical spirituality. Zenobia, Namaste. Good to have you on. It's been a while since I've seen your profile come up on the streams. Good to have you. And I was thinking, what would be an interesting conversation topic for tonight? And I realized there was a quote, Jose, Namaste. There is a Jose right there. There was a quote or a expression I would share with clients all the time who would come in for healing or come in for coaching, and they would tell me about some part of their life that isn't working. They would say that their relationships aren't working. They would say that they're not making as much money as they need, want, and desire, or that they deserve. Their business is falling apart. Their whatever, fill in the blank. Something in their life is not working. And in most cases, the viewpoint and the thought process is, how can I change the external? How can I make that person like me? How can I make that person stop fighting with me? How can I make that person be agreeable? How can, right, fill in the blank? And I always go back to this, that as you change, your world changes. As you become a better person, things around you become better. Because Stephen, Namaste, because everything is passing through you, Avani, Namaste, as a spiritual practitioner or even a non-spiritual practitioner. Your life is determined by your energy and by your karma. The better your karma, the better your life. The cleaner your energy, the better your life. The dirtier your energy, the worse your life. The worse your karma, the worse your life, right? And so something was occurring to me that there's a challenge. You guys know that I usually throw out challenges for myself. I don't make them public because it's something that I'm working on. But, I encourage each and every person to do little challenges throughout the year to keep them engaged and inspired with their own life and engaged and inspired with their own spiritual practice. Because on some levels, it can become tedious. It can become rote. It can become, all right, I'm just sitting down and meditating again, right? And they're not breathing any life into their spiritual practice. So throughout the year, I always throw myself little challenges. Some of the challenges for a few days, some of the challenges are for a couple years. It depends on what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. And these are based on the teachings I've received from Grandmaster Choa Koksui, as well as at different Arhatic Yoga retreats I've attended over the years. Lorena, Namaste. Good to have you on the stream for the first time. So, 4 years ago, I tried a challenge, and 3 weeks into the challenge, I thought my physical body was going to die. So I stopped. I could have been stubborn. I could have been extra determined to push through that pain, but to be completely honest with you, I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if my physical body actually would have died or not. So, 4 years, Namaste, fast forwarding 4 years, I said, you know what? No, actually, no, I think it's 5 years. I think it's 5 years 5 years ago that I did this challenge. So, fast forwarding to the present day, I thought to myself, okay, I'm ready to do this challenge. I put it on my calendar a few months in advance. I prepared for it psychologically, energetically, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. So, I'm 4 days away from completing this challenge. It's a big deal for me. I'm super excited about it. I'm super grateful. Some very, very interesting things have come about during this challenge, just like it did last time. Now, last time, it affected every area of my life. There was not one area of my life that this challenge didn't uproot and squirrel up and get all crazy. But this time, the thing that got most stirred up in my life is around relationships, doing this practice or this challenge. And it goes back to meditation daily for 1 month. Yes, but a certain meditation. Yes, a certain meditation. every day for a month. Eric, Atma Namaste, the barbecue king of New England. So I realize that whatever's inside of you, as you go through the purifying process, as you go through greater levels of awareness and understanding, things are going to get stirred up. As we talk about many, many times in these live streams, spiritual energy is a fertilizer for the seeds within you. So we have seeds of goodness and we have seeds of not so much goodness, right? And so as you keep introducing more and more and more energy to those seeds, really beautiful qualities can come out in your personality, and then really not so good qualities can come out in your personality. That's why Master Choa Kuk Sui says purification is essential. Purification is very important on the spiritual path. So if you're doing very intensive meditation practices, the level of your purification, physical purification, emotional purification, mental purification, and spiritual purification needs to be above the rate of the energy that you're bringing down, right? Because if you just meditate, and do no purification, all of the seeds within you that are not so pleasant and not so good are going to grow from little tiny baby seeds into these monstrous weeds that are going to take over your life or take over your garden. Now, if you are doing rapid purification, you're doing a lot of service, you're doing a lot of tithing, you're doing a lot of awareness and understanding of what's happening in your moment-by-moment life, and you do very advanced accelerated practices, you can accelerate your growth exponentially, which is exciting, right? So you can feel greater levels of joy, greater levels of wisdom, greater levels of inner strength, greater levels of certainty and power to make things happen in your life, right? So that's one, and a stronger connection to God. At the end of the day, that's the purpose of any and all meditation practice, to connect yourself to your higher self, your little self to your higher self, and then your higher self to God. That's the purpose of every spiritual practice when you whittle it down to the essence, right? So as I'm meditating on my own life and I'm going through this challenge, I'm realizing how much stuff is coming out in my relationship life, and it's been super, super painful. Not in the sense of painful of emotionally curled up in a ball crying in the corner, or walking around the house depressed, or not getting out of bed until noon. Not that kind of pain and suffering, but more of a mental acknowledgement of, wow, my thoughts, my words, and my actions have been causing pain, sorrow, and suffering to the people that I care about and to the people that I love. And one of my mentors said several months ago, as a very intense reminder to me, that love is always an action word. Love is always an action word. Love is always an action word. So I could say, I love you, I care about you, you mean the world to me, you're super valuable, I would do anything and everything for you. I could say all these words, which is great on one level, but if my actions are inconsiderate, impatient, unaware, non-loving, mean. I don't want to say mean because, that's many, many years ago of Christian. But the inaction of not being loving, right? So you can have the action of being loving, and then you can have the inaction of loving, like you're not doing anything, right? And so that's more where the pain and suffering is coming from in this experience in 2019, right before we start June, is having the mental awareness and understanding of some of the veils are being removed. And I'm able to see these relationships in my life clearer, not entirely clear. I still have lots of work to do for sure, But it's the realization of like, wow, I was lying to myself here. I was deluding myself here. I was being delusional here. I was not being clear here. And because of those things, it caused pain, sorrow, and suffering here, here, and here with this person, that person, this person, that person. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Love is an action word. Exactly. Totally agree with this. So that's it. This isn't an opportunity to beat myself up. And if you have realizations about areas in your life that you've been neglecting, and you're like, I can't believe I've been neglecting my health for that long. I can't believe I've been neglecting my intimate partner for that long. I can't believe I've been neglecting my children for that long. I can't believe I've been neglecting my finances for that long. It's okay, Paula, but namaste, it's okay to have the realization, and it's okay to have a little bit of grief, a little bit of remorse, a little bit of shame and guilt around it. Why? Because that forces you to become better. So you stop doing the things that cause the pain, and then you start doing the right things that will ease the pain and suffering of other people, including yourself. But it's a problem when it becomes excessive, when we, like, again, curl up in a ball and cry for the next 3 days, or next week, or next month, or next 6 months, or next year, right? That's when it becomes a problem. So I'm proud of myself, like good self-esteem, good self-image, good self-worth, like healthy pride of like, if these things happened 3 years ago, even 3 years ago, would have devastated me for months, like months. But because of my practice, because of my greater understanding, because of my greater awareness, because of the blessings of my teacher, Bridget, namaste, because of the blessings of my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, and the tools that I've been given over the past 15 years as a practitioner, I'm able to suffer less, have the realization faster, and then move my life forward and do the right thing. And it's been eye-opening. But what's the point of tonight's stream? It's as you change, the world around you changes. As you become a better person, the world around you becomes better. As you become not as good, or as you become a mean, cruel, evil person, the world will reflect that, because your life, everything that you see around you, your bank account, your relationships or lack thereof, your car, your house, everything that you see in your physical world, the Maya, the illusion we talk about, is a manifestation of what you as a soul have created, right? With your own thoughts, your own words, and your own actions. You've created what you see and experience around you. So if you want a better life, you have to become a better person. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm constantly, never-endingly encouraging each and every person on the planet to get energy healing, to do their meditation practice daily, to practice awareness and understanding, because when you do those things, your world improves. So it's not about getting your partner to be more loving, it's about you being more loving. It's not about telling your boss to give you a raise. It's about you removing the blockages, obstacles, and impediments to being more prosperous, and into adding more value, into sowing better seeds of prosperity, abundance, and success, right? So that's why it's so beautiful when you have the realization that anything that is working in your life, it's because of what you're doing, and everything that's not working in your life, it's because of what you're doing. It's all on you. And it's funny because with a mentor, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, her and I were having a conversation, or I could say more like an argument, and I was venting to her about something that was super frustrating to me, like super, super frustrating, like so frustrating. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I'm in a rut. I don't know how to move forward because there's nothing I can do about this situation. So what am I doing? I'm taking responsibility off of myself. I'm putting it on this situation. So I'm disempowering myself and I'm empowering the situation to control me. And then I was like, after talking with her, after having greater awareness, greater understanding, I started doing my inner work. I started doing my meditation practice. I started doing energy healing on this specific situation. And then what do you know? About 3, almost 4 months later, the situation almost resolved itself. Not completely resolved, but almost resolved itself. Just by doing a little bit of energy work. So, again, as I tell my clients, as you change, the world around you changes. I had a client come to me earlier today for healing, and she was sharing with me, she goes, I'm starting to think that as I get healing, it's affecting my family. Because my husband is doing something that he's never done before. Rather than complaining about where he is in life, he's taking a proactive step to move his life forward. And he hasn't done that in over 10 years. Which, I reminded her, as you change, your world changes. As you change, the people around you change. As you heal, the people around you heal. Because a rising tide raises all ships. The little ships and the huge cargo ships. Right? A rising tide. So as we continue to purify, become better people, become better souls, as we are more conductive to the divine energy pouring from our higher souls into us, we can become transformed. So it's super, super empowering on one level, but on another level, it could be super terrifying, right? Like, wait a minute. So if I'm 100% responsible for my life, then that means I can never put the blame on another person. I can never blame my boss for not making enough money. I can never blame my clients for not paying me a greater hourly rate. I cannot blame my children for causing me strife and suffering and pain. Wow. Think about that for just a minute. Like, really digest that. If what we're talking about is true, which it is, and you're 100% responsible for your life, what do you want to do now? What do you want to accomplish? What outcomes do you want to fulfill? What kind of relationships do you want to have? I remember a personal development guru worth many millions of dollars and has a pretty strong influence in the world. He said that you don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. And I was like, that's a very interesting thing. Because, like, for instance, in the world of dating, right? I would not tolerate dating somebody who smokes. Have nothing against smokers. It's an addiction. It's not healthy. It cuts your lifespan by 20 plus years. It affects your cholesterol and your blood pressure. But, we're autonomous human beings. We can do what we want, when we want, how we want, right? Responsibility. I would not date a smoker. I would not tolerate that in my life, right? But then you have somebody who dates a smoker and they suffer the consequences of dating a smoker through secondhand smoke, and it starts affecting their physical health. That person tolerates that. That's why they bring it into their life. But if you think about it, you only get what you tolerate. Well, if you have people in your life that are abusing you, emotionally, verbally, even physically, it's because you tolerate that. For me, I would never have a person in my life, especially an intimate partner, who abused me. If they abused me physically, out the door. If they abused me verbally, out the door, right? And in the past relationships, I had emotional abuse in my past relationships many, many years ago, right? Why? Because I tolerated it, because I accepted it, because I went along for the ride, right? I didn't have awareness. Again, as you have greater awareness, greater understanding, you can start going, is that something I want to tolerate? What are my standards in life? Are my standards up here? Are they in the middle? Are they way down at the bottom? Where are my standards? So you will live life and experience life at the level of your tolerance and at your level of your standard, right? So there, like for instance, there are people who their standard of living is living on the streets. Like they're completely fine. Their standard of living is, as long as I have food in my belly and a jacket on my back, I can live under a bridge. That's their standard. Then you have people that if they're not staying in a, $30,000 a month mansion on the beach, they're unfulfilled and it's beneath them. That's their standard, right? One of my clients was sharing with me that his girlfriend is in the process of building up her company to the point where she can purchase a jet. How cool is that? To be dating somebody who has aspirations so big in a business that is doing so well that she is aspiring to buy a jet. It's not like this wishy-washy, airy-fairy dream. It's like, this is the kind of jet that I'm going to buy, this is when I'm going to buy it, and this is what I'm going to do with it. That's the standard that this person has for their life, right? The business standard. What would our lives look like if we had high standards for our relationships, high standards for our material wealth and abundance, high standards in our spiritual practices, high standards in our service, high standards in our physical health, right? What would our lives look like? But going back to our original point, it has nothing to do with anybody else that has to change for us to fulfill our standards. It has to do with us changing from the inside out to fulfill those standards. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you want a better life, boop, battery's getting low. If you want a better life, you have to look at what you're tolerating and you have to look at your standards. Sorry guys, I got messages coming in. So that being said, if I can assist you in your healing practice, if I can assist you in your meditation practice, if I can assist you in living a higher quality of life, go to ChristianRLong.com. It's my name. It's my website. Super easy to find me. I'm all over the place. Click on schedule a consultation or click on schedule a healing and let me know how I can serve you in your process of going from where you are to where you ultimately want to be and getting a better idea of where your intolerance are and where your standards are. So I hope that helps. But it's been fun sharing with you. Feel free to ask any questions, comments right now in the little section below. I'll give you guys a minute. Usually takes about 15 to 30 seconds for it to kick in. But the past month has been very, very, very interesting. And a part of me wants to blame circumstances and blame other people. Fear healing. That's a good one. We'll be doing that this coming Sunday. For those of you who do not know, every Sunday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, every Sunday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, we jump onto Zoom, which is like Skype. We jump onto Zoom and we do 30 minutes of free meditation and then 30 minutes of a $25 donation healing. And this week we're doing healing on fear. Healing on fear. And all of us on some level are still dealing with fear. And it's actually very important to eradicate fear on the spiritual path. Not just in your material life, but also in your inner life, in your spiritual life. But the tendency over this past 30 months has been to blame, to point fingers, to criticize. But as I have greater awareness and understanding, and I realize as I'm doing more spiritual practice, as I'm fertilizing more of my own ancient seeds within me, the maybe not so pleasant seeds, I have greater compassion for myself, and I have greater compassion for the people that I've hurt with my lack of awareness and my inconsideration. So for those people who are watching this, my apologies, my deepest heartfelt apologies to you. Nothing but love, nothing but respect, nothing but appreciation. It's we're all in the process of growing and evolving, and we all make mistakes. So That's it. What else? That's it, guys. So lots of light, love, and power from God and my teacher, Grandmaster Cho Koksui, into your lives. I'm going to take a nice, deeply needed salt bath for today, and then I will see you guys tomorrow for the live stream. It's cool. We have one of the senior pranic healing instructors coming into town, into Denver this week, teaching crystal healing, and I forget the other one. It's eluding me right now. I don't know what the other class is, but it's always an honor to be around the higher level practitioners in pranic healing, to pick their brains, to get some priceless nugget of wisdom that you can transform your life. I remember Anthony Robbins, when he was on the early part of his career, and I think he read 400 books within a 2-year period on personal development, on psychology, on neuroscience, on personal development, spirituality, and then he attended any and all seminars and workshops he could go to. And at a certain point in his development, a lot of the material started to sound familiar. He's like, yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, I've read that before. But he had this realization that, what if I got one nugget? What if I got one nugget that would transform the rest of my life? Would that workshop be worth it? If it's a weekend workshop, in 15 minutes of that entire weekend, you got a nugget that changed your life, would it have been worth it? So that's why we do these live streams each and every day, and we cover different topics each and every day, because there might be that one nugget that you can use to transform your life. A book recommendation, lots of priceless information. Yeah, from my teacher. I'm just the mouthpiece, but thank you. So just that one nugget can transform your life. The one book recommendation, the one meditation technique, the one healing technique, the one announcement, the one audio program, the one YouTube video, the one thing that is shared that could literally alter the course of your life. It's profound when you think about it. So that's it, guys. Let me know if I can assist you in your healing process. Go to ChristianRLong.com, and I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. This is ChristianRLong.com. I've turned into my own website. Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma. Namaste. Bye-bye. Love you guys.